From the Xavier University Television Studio, this is Xavier News. Your campus, your region, your world. This is Xavier News.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today is October 20th. I am Luke Sherman.
And I am Owen Gorsuch. Welcome back to Xavier News.
Parents' weekend activities are about to begin throughout the weekend. Families can take part in multiple activities, both on and off campus, to spend time with each other and create memories in the greater Cincinnati area. Some of the events students and their families can take part in include a women's volleyball game against DePaul from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Cintas Center on the 20th, and a college improv show in the Kennedy Auditorium on the 20th from 8 to 9 p.m. On the 21st, the DIFT program will be holding a matinee of students' previous works from the program at the Kennedy Auditorium from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And the popular Family Weekend Bingo will be occurring on the 21st from 8 to 9 p.m. and from 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. On the 22nd, President Hanich will be sharing a continental breakfast with parents and families from 10 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. And a Mass will be held at 3 times throughout the day, 9 a.m., 11:30 a.m., 4 p.m., and 7 p.m. There are also many events and locations to visit outside the greater Cincinnati area, so families will be able to find fun adventures and events to share time with loved ones throughout the weekend.
Looking for another Family Weekend activity? The Xavier Theater program will be featuring The Sound of Music Friday through Sunday in the GSC Theater. Let's take a look at the beginning, which is a very good place to start.
Now, doesn't that look fun? The show starts at 7:30 tonight, and there is a 2 o'clock and 7:30 performance on both Saturday and Sunday. Get your tickets on the Xavier Theater Instagram and Facebook page. You won't want to miss it.
The Ethics, Religion, and Society program is having the second event in their guest speaker series. Next week, Christopher J. Preston, a philosophy professor from the University of Montana, will be giving a talk discussing 2 different responses to our environmental crisis, a naturalist approach and a technical approach. If you're interested, come to the Kennedy Auditorium next Tuesday at 7 p.m. All are welcome.
This year, Xavier celebrated 50 years of the DIFT program. What started as a program for radio and television has turned into a place where students can learn everything they need to know about getting a job in this digital world. As the year finishes, we will continue to showcase the program, highlighting students, faculty, and key events in DIFT history.
This Saturday, Xavier Singers will be putting on a show for Family Weekend. They are promising a good time, performing songs that you would hear on the radio. Go check them out tomorrow at noon in the GSC for free. No registration required.
Ever wonder what Xavier students' post-mortem plans are? Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Mia Carlson, and your question of the week is, if you were a ghost, how would you haunt people?
I think I would sneak into their house and I'd steal all their money because that would haunt them forever.
I gotta say, I just do like a bunch of different things to annoy them. So like, like take a peg off their couch so it's really uneven, or take the labels off their food cans so they just don't know what they're gonna eat next, just to be annoying about it.
I would probably just take people's things so that they would get a little confused. Nothing too scary, nothing too mean, just silly little stealing small things.
This is
Chris Perkins.
And your question is, if you were a ghost, how would you haunt people?
I would show up in their mirror after they have it open and then they close it. I would just appear.
I would be a nice ghost. I wouldn't be creepy and haunt people in a bad way. I would keep them company and help them on exams, or if they're feeling lonely, make them feel less alone.
That's really sweet. Thank you.
If I was a ghost, I would haunt people in their sleep.
If I were going to haunt people, I would appear in the middle of the night in their bedroom while they're sleeping so that they woke up and were scared to death in the middle of the night.
Like a ghost alarm clock, basically?
Basically.
I'm here with. And if you were a ghost, how would you haunt people? Thank you.
I would flicker in images of anyone they've wronged and then just approach them from behind every second of the day because it's all about the psychological torment.
That is terrifying. Thank you.
Thank you. That means so much.
I would just like to sneak up on people. I think it'd be really fun to scare them.
I probably wouldn't haunt them, but I would just play little jokes on them, make them feel confused. Like if they lost something, I'd probably just move it around and keep moving it.
I would probably hide under their bed and grab their feet anytime they took their covers off.
Thank you. Sorry, that's really funny.
So Luke, what are your post-mortem plans?
I think I would go for the goofy, just knocking some books off the bookshelf. It's a classic, not too scary, just kind of let them know I'm there.
Okay, cool. Well, for me, my post-mortem plans, I guess I had to haunt people's cars.
The Israeli-Palestinian conflict continues, and civilian casualties in Gaza rose to 2,800 under Israel's continuous bombing. Israel has dropped over 6,000 bombs on Gaza. Israeli forces have ordered an evacuation of 1.1 million people in northern Gaza, seemingly in preparation for a ground incursion. On Tuesday, reports emerged of a hospital in Gaza packed with wounded Palestinians having been bombed in an Israeli airstrike, killing at least 500. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and President Biden made separate trips to Israel, visiting Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and reaffirming U.S. support and funding for the nation. However, not all agree with Biden's stance. Just on Wednesday, hundreds of Jewish Americans held a sit-in at Congress, urging them to call for a ceasefire. Others have called Israel's attacks on Gaza a Palestinian genocide, as the Israeli government has cut off water, food, and electricity for Palestinians, and repeatedly bombed the only border from Gaza to Egypt after ordering evacuees there.
The fight for the speakership. After votes on Tuesday and Wednesday failed to produce a leader, Jim Jordan, a congressman from Central Ohio and chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, is currently the leading candidate, yet has failed to meet the required threshold after 3 rounds of voting. Jordan has the support of former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, yet still fell 20 members short of the 217 votes required to secure the position. Given the Republican Party's ongoing indecision, there has been a bipartisan push to increase the amount of power that temporary Speaker Patrick McHenry has. The issue grows even more fervent as a possible government shutdown looms and war continues in both Ukraine and the Middle East.
In the federal court case involving former President Donald Trump, Judge Tanya Chutkan imposed a limited gag order on Trump. This restricts him from making public statements attacking the witnesses and specific prosecutors or court staff members involved in the federal case concerning his efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
After decades of a blood donation ban by the FDA, gay and bisexual men will be able to donate their blood. The ban was first put into place in 1985 after the breakout of the AIDS epidemic. Initially, gay and bisexual men were banned for life from donating blood, but the restrictions have loosened over the years, with men more recently being asked to abstain from sex with other men for up to a year in order to donate. With the hard ban lifted, the number of people eligible to donate blood has increased. Hawksworth Blood, the local blood bank in Cincinnati, was pleased to see this change and will start accepting LGBTQ+ donors as soon as December.
This week, XUPD ran a self-defense course in Coleman Hall. Jared Burke and Kylie McMahon have the scoop.
We
We decided to do a self-defense training session because I think it's really important for students to not only build awareness about being prepared in situations where they may face some sort of violence to where they need to protect themselves, but I also think it's a great way to de-stress, especially during midterm seasons. It is also a great way to engage in some physical activity.
Self-defense is important for college students in 2023 because even though I think it's always been important, even especially now, it's something that we have to do to show that we will not accept, we will not tolerate violence of any kind, especially gender and power-based violence, which are those situations where you see needing to use self-defense tactics. And also, it's evolved. The ways that we might face danger have changed, and it's important to learn how we can respond to that and how we can make sure that we are taking care of ourselves.
Some of the moves that I went over in the course is various punch attacks, chop attacks, knee attacks, and also using environmental tools like cell phone, water bottle, keys, and things of that nature, because you want to make sure that you're very versatile when you're protecting yourself. What would I say to someone who's interested in taking a self-defense class? What I would say is that you definitely want to invest into your safety the same way that you're investing in your future. You want to make sure that you are focused and aware of any and all potential dangers.
This year marks the 100th year anniversary of Disney. Disney celebrated their anniversary with a short film titled Once Upon a Studio, featuring 543 animations that have since been created by Disney, taking one big photo together. During the short film, the Mickey Mouse honors the late Walt Disney, saying, "Gotta go, but thanks, on with the show."
Gamers across the world, today is your lucky day. Both Spider-Man 2 and Super Mario Bros. Wonder just released today. Spider-Man 2 has been highly anticipated and regarded as a potential Game of the Year candidate, while Super Mario Bros. Wonder is the first side-scrolling Mario game since 2012, exciting fans of the beloved franchise. Both games have already received amazing reviews, so enjoy gaming on your PlayStation and Nintendo Switch, respectively.
Taylor Swift and AMC have partnered together to bring you the official Eras Tour movie. As the title implies, the film covers multiple performances from her 2023 to 2024 Eras Tour. Not only is the film a hit with the Swifties, but also with the box office. The film grossed $92.8 million during its opening weekend. This makes it the second best October box office opening of all time, only being beat by Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. The Eras Tour movie has also made the record of being the highest grossing concert film ever, beating the $73 million run of Justin Bieber's Never Say Never. Looks like Taylor Swift can now add box office record holder to her list of accolades.
A woman living in Barkhamsted, Connecticut had some very hard luck when she discovered a bear had infiltrated her home and stolen her food. Helena Hulis received an alert on her phone that her fridge was left open and decided to check her home's security footage. It was there where she saw a bear walking around her house, opening the freezer door and grabbing lasagna out of the freezer. The unorthodox burglar made its escape through an open window, running from the property with its frozen meal in hand. Not the most common reason for someone to go out for dinner.
Looking for things to do this weekend with your family and friends? Here are some fun activities and events you can attend to make sure your family weekend more memorable. You can start your morning with a quick trip to Findlay Market to grab some fresh fruit and homemade pastries before heading over to the zoo to visit all of the adorable animals. Need a caffeine boost afterwards? Then the Cincinnati Coffee Festival this Saturday and Sunday will be right up your alley with their beautiful latte art and popular cold brews. To finish off this eventful agenda, you, your family, and friends can stop by the Cincinnati Plant Party on Sunday from 1 to 7 p.m. and check out and support small business plant shops, pottery vendors, local artists, and more.
XUFTVC's song recommendation of the week is When You Wish Upon a Star to celebrate Disney's 100th anniversary. And with that, that's all from the news desk.
We will be right back with the weekend weather report. But first, Drew Collins gives us a look at the last week's Musketeer tip-off.
Here at the Musketeer tip-off, we will be showcasing the men's and women's team right before the start of the season. Let's take a closer look. Musketeer tip-off was a huge success here in the Cintas Center. It is safe to say fans across the Tri-State are ecstatic for the 2023-2024 men's and women's basketball season. Now let's take it right back to the studio.
Hi, my name is Ryan Saki, and this is your Xavier Weekend Weather Report. For Friday, it will be rainy with a high of 59 and a low of 40. For Saturday, it will be partly cloudy with a high of 64 and a low of 43. And for Sunday, it will be sunny with a high of 58 and a low of 33. This has been your Xavier Weekend Weather Report. Now to Drew with sports.
Hello everybody, my name is Drew Collins and you're watching the Sports Report. Another busy week for sports here in the Tri-State. Beginning with professional sports, the Cincinnati Bengals defeated the Seattle Seahawks here at Paycor Stadium and head into a bye week. They are now 3-3 and are set to have a week to gather themselves and prepare for the 49ers next Sunday. And now to Xavier sports. The women's soccer team battled Providence yesterday and ended in a draw. They are now ranked 20th in the country and are second in the Big East standings. The ladies are set to face the Blue Jays this Sunday. The men's soccer team tied with Butler on Wednesday in a 1-1 draw and also tied with number 3 ranked Akron earlier this week as well. The boys sit second in the Big East and first in the Midwest Division. They will travel to Philadelphia to take on Villanova tomorrow. The volleyball team will be home today and tomorrow to take on DePaul and Marquette. Both games will start at 6 p.m., so make sure to come out and support the ladies. And last but not least, the women's golf team will take place in the Southern Invitational. Well, that is a wrap on the Sports Report this week. Go X!